Uber and Lyft won't halt operations in California. For now, a state appeals court paused a lower court ruling that required the ride-hailing companies to reclassify their drivers as employees. The temporary reprieve gives Uber and Lyft until 5 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday to file written statements agreeing to expedited procedures stated in the order. You can see Uber and Lyft down a little bit today, but yesterday when this news broke, guys, the shares definitely we're solidly in the green. It's interesting because it's kind of a kick the can down the road move. And California, of course, represents a relatively small proportion of those two companies' rides. However, it's a remarkable ruling, and it definitely calls into question what they've been able to accomplish in terms of their business model so far, Scott.
And Leslie, I think you said it well. It seems to me to be just a matter of time before Uber and Lyft are going to have to make some significant changes to their business model, whether it's in California or elsewhere. You know, these companies are under pressure, more Uber, obviously, because of the international presence relative to Lyft in international markets where these issues have been debated for an awfully long time. You said kick the can down the road. I think that's the right way to see it. If you're an investor in these stocks and you think, well, it's just a matter of time before they're going to have to make significant changes, what, Carl, do you do with these shares if you think that they're going to have to do this? And then you pile on top of it just the unknown behavior of what consumers are going to be like, both now in the pandemic and on the other side of it. Whether you're not going to want to take public transportation, so you're more willing to get into somebody else's car, or if you don't want to even get into somebody else's car, whether that continues to hurt these businesses on the other side of COVID.
Yeah, Scott, I always come back to your interview with Chanos about Uber. It was April 2, and he made the point that because they haven't paid benefits for unemployment, those drivers were never, they never paid into the pool, is how Chanos put it. And he said that the political parties would look hard at that, and he was right. However, the prospect of having no Uber or Lyft service, especially in COVID, where public transit has completely turned upside down, maybe these companies have a little more leverage than we might have thought back in April.
I agree. I think the timing is really important here, that if we saw this ruling and then the appeals court ruling maybe a year ago or so, we'd be having a totally different conversation. But Uber and Lyft's businesses are already under tremendous pressure. They saw Uber, I think, saw ridership decline about 70% during the second quarter as people stayed home. They were, very reticent about getting into someone else's car. They don't know where that person's been or who they've been exposed to. The cleaning measures, while they say they've improved, it's up to the driver, of course. And so you as a rider put your fate in their hands. I think it'll be interesting to see how this impacts them. But clearly they are fighting hard to keep this business model alive.